Hey, what's up, you guys? So today I'm going to show you how to install this PHP Hydra performance chip on my 2001 F350 7.3 liter. I'm not going to really go over how to install the chip itself, but I want to show you guys how I removed this conformal coating off of this PCM. So I'll show you here. You can see this really glossy coat that's on this circuit board. It's called a conformal coating. It's basically just like a coating that protects the, the elements on this thing from moisture and whatnot. You can see just how glossy it is, and you can see the buildup there on the edge of that circuit board. So we're going to remove that just so you can install the performance chip. This here is MG Chemicals 8310A conformal coating stripper gel. This stuff worked super well. Highly recommend it. I'll put the link for it down below. It was on Amazon for like 20 bucks or so, but definitely worth it. I've had issues in the past with frying a PCM because of a poor install from a TC 6 position chip. So I've decided to try this route. And yeah, so this is it. Comes with these two little brushes, which worked very well. Even after this project, the first brush I used was still plenty good to use for a handful more. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start applying this. Don't worry about, don't be too cautious. Just get it on there. Get a nice thick coat on there, on those contact pins there at the end of the board where the chip's gonna connect. And then we're gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes or so. Just so it can start eating away at it and we can start scraping it off. Alright, so that's first coat on there. So we're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes or so. You can probably do it longer. I just did about 10 minutes just to try it out. So I'll show you what it looks like. This is just the first coat that I put on after it sat. Again, nothing crazy. You can see how it wasn't perfect getting it on there. I got a little extra on there, but again, not a big deal. Not going to hurt nothing. You just really want to make sure you get rid of this conformal coating, because if not, the tuner chip will not make a connection, and you'll have issues like I did. So I tried using Q-tips. They didn't work so well. They kind of just fell apart and made more of a mess than actually did anything. The reason I use these is I figured they were gentle enough to not damage anything. And then there's also a video that I'll post for you guys from another YouTuber that basically shows you how to do this removal process. But I just wanted to make something specific for a tuner chip install on these 7.3 liters. So I went to a wire brush here just to try to get some of this off, and you can see it's just not, Q-tips aren't doing anything really. I'm just trying to get this edge knocked down here that's real thick. The brush definitely is better than the Q-tips, but I actually found this plastic scraper here that you'll see in a second. This thing really helped get the job done. I'll see if I can post a link for it. I don't remember where I found this thing or where I got it from. I think it was part of like a vinyl wrapping kit. But you can see it's already starting to lift it up here. So this was it right here, guys. So I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this, just enough to kind of pull off this material, and you can see right there. Now it's starting to come off real well. So this gel's doing its job, and then I think this is a much better tool than the Q-tips. There we go. So you guys can see. So that's a mix between the gel and the actual conformal coating. So Just want to keep scraping away at it. Again, not a lot of pressure, just, you know, you'll kind of, you'll just have to feel it out. You're not going to want to push so hard that you're damaging these contacts here, but you also obviously want to make sure you're scraping up this coating. So just back and forth, light pressure, and just keep working away at it. So you can really see here on this edge how much was on here, and it looks so much better already. But you can see all of that conformal coating coming up. Like I said, you really want to make sure you get all of this stuff off of here, guys, because if not, you're not going to have a good connection, and you could risk, you know, permanent irreparable damage to your PCM like I had with the TC 6-position tuner that I had on this truck. And sorry for all the shaking. I made the mistake of mounting my camera to the table I was working on, so apologize. I'm not a YouTuber. It's just my first video I've ever made. I just really wanted to show you guys how I did this, because I've never seen anyone do it this way before, at least not for this specific install. So I just want to see if you know, you guys, maybe it'll help you out. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. So you can see here after one good scrape, you can see we got most of it off, but there's still areas there where you can see that high gloss, and that's exactly where we need to focus on right there, just to get all of that coating off to ensure a good connection. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put another coat of this stripping gel on here. Again, not too careful, just want to make sure you get it a nice thick coat on there so it can do its job. All right, we'll let it sit for about another 10 minutes. Now I'm going to start focusing between these contact pins here. The reason being is because if you have any coating that's left between those that sits higher than that contact there, the chip's not going to get a good connection. It's going to be sitting on top of the conformal coating rather than making contact with the pin. So you really want to make sure you get in there. Like I said, this scraper worked really well for me. You could probably use something similar, maybe even like a toothpick or something to get in there, but you really want to make sure you get in there. Again, just light pressure, just feel it out. If you go to do this, you know, you don't want to push so hard that you're breaking these pins off. You just want to get this coating off of here. I'm just using the corner of this little scraper, and you can see it all just coming up right there. So now I'm going to come back just above these contacts and clean some of that, and you can see again how easily it comes up after this gel sits on here doing its thing. Makes this a very simple process, a little time consuming, but like I said, doing it the way that most people recommend, using the back of a the wire brush handle, the wooden handle, I just feel like that's not really getting all of this stuff off. So yeah, this just worked for me, and I think it's going to be probably the best way to go about this. And again, just really getting in every little nook and cranny that you can get into to remove all of this coating, just to ensure the best possible connection for your tuner chip. You don't want to be stranded somewhere because, you know, you rushed it, or, you know, you just weren't paying attention getting in there, and then you have problems with your truck. Still using these Q-tips. I don't know why. Kind of helps get some of the debris off, but not really. All right, so let's take a look at the second pass. So you can see we got those two spots that we pointed out earlier, and it's looking a lot better. Still not 100%, but a lot better than when we started. So I'm going to go ahead and put another coat on of this stripping gel. Again, just, you know, thick coat. Don't be afraid to just get that stuff on there. All right, so after letting it sit for a while, I'm actually going to use this little Scotch pad came with the tuner. So I'm just really lightly scrubbing at this, and I mean like very, very lightly, guys. You don't want to go too crazy with it. These contacts are actually tinned, which basically means there's a layer over, like a layer of like solder over this actual pin, the copper pin, and you don't want to scrape that off. You want to leave that silver tinning on there. So just again, very lightly, just brushing away at it to make sure we're really getting all that off. And you can see it's looking even a lot better after just that little scrub there. And we're just going to keep scrubbing away. Really make sure we're not too aggressive here, and just trying to get between every little crevice to make sure you get all of this nasty stuff off of here. All right, so what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm just using some, it's actually mass airflow sensor cleaner, but probably be best to use like an electronics cleaner. I figured this wasn't going to hurt nothing, just to get, you know, all that residue off. And you can see it's looking a lot better. Still not 100%, but we're getting there. All right, so here's the underside of the PCM. we got the top side done. Now this is the underside, so you can see same thing as before. You got this thick layer of this conformal coating on here. You can see the side we just did. So I actually gave it just another little pass just to really clean it up, and I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like I got in there, I got everything pretty well, and getting a good clean finish for that chip to sit on. So we're gonna go ahead and apply this stripping gel to the backside now, and basically repeat the process as we did in the first part. I mounted my phone, so we shouldn't have any shaking anymore. So again, I apologize for that. But yeah, we're just getting this stuff on there nice and thick. Let it sit for another 10 minutes or so, let it do its thing. And then after it's sat, we're going to come back, same thing with that plastic scraper, and just start scraping away. So this one was a little bit more difficult to get started. I just kept working at it, change directions, try to find an edge that you can grab just to start getting this stuff up. Again, light pressure, there we go. And then once you get it started, it just, you can start working away at it. But like I said, light pressure. The tip of this thing is actually pretty flexible, so it makes it really easy to do this without worrying about excessive force. This is the opposite end of it. I ended up using this for this side just to try it out, and I feel like it did really well to get this started. And again, just light pressure, guys, and it just, you'll see it starts coming right up. Once you get it started, it's really not that hard to get it off. So just keep chipping away, be patient, and make sure you're thorough with this stuff. You can see here all that stuff we're getting off, so it's definitely working. I'm just using the very edge of this scraper here to get that layer right above these contacts, just to make sure. I'll show you guys at the end of the video exactly where the tuner is going to sit on this. It doesn't really go up that far, so you don't have to worry too much, but again, I just wanted to be triple sure. And then you can see that right after the first pass, still got some areas just like we did in the first video, the first half of the video. So we're going to apply another coat, let this stuff sit on there for a while, and then come back to it to clean this side up real well, just like we did the other side. All right, so back at it with this other end of the scraper here. Like I said, it was a little more beefy, so it was kind of easier to get this nice top layer off. But you'll see me alternate still between the two ends, just to kind of make sure I'm getting everything that I need to. You really want to make sure, like I said, you're getting in between those, get all the edges, get as much of this stuff off as you can. Just take your time with it. Just coming back over the the top of this part here just to make sure we're really getting this stuff off. Alright, so that looks pretty good so far. We'll come back with the Q-tip. Try to get some of this residue off. Definitely don't want that getting in the way of your connection here. So we're just going to clean this up real good. Try to, at least. These Q-tips suck. So there we go. You can see we got pretty good chunk of that stuff off of there. You still see a little bit left there that you want to get into. But overall, looking pretty good so far. So again, throw another coat on here. Nice thick coat just to make sure it eats away at that last little bit on there. You can probably get away with longer times between coats. I just kind of was, like I said, this is the first time I've ever done this. I don't have any experience with this, so I was just kind of giving it about 10 minutes. But here we go back with the this little Scotch pad here. This is the same one I used earlier. Still plenty good. Really not putting a whole lot of pressure here, just enough to get this stuff off of here. So just want to go through and try to get every little inch of this, every little crevice, and make sure you're getting all this stuff off of there. Alright, so here I ended up putting a little more pressure on it just because I'm going with the pins. I'm not really, I wasn't going against them, so I wasn't too worried about them breaking. But again, just kind of feel it out. You'll see what I'm talking about when you go to do this. It's not, you don't need to scrape the life out of it. You're just cleaning it up. So I'm just using a paper towel here just to kind of get the rest of this residue off. I'm going to hit it again with the, so this is a soaked rag with some of that cleaner I had earlier. And you can see how much better that looks. You see the difference between the high gloss and then that nice clean section there. So give it another spray, and then you can see now we got much better result. Could probably give a little bit more just to get those little crevices, so I just pulled out the wire brush again, just very, very gently, just trying to make sure I'm getting all of that stuff in between there and really cleaning this stuff off. A little bit more pressure again here. Like I said earlier, I'm not going against them, I'm going with them, so I'm not too worried about them breaking. But still, just be careful. Make sure you're paying attention and you're not getting complacent when you switch from side to side like that. But just enough to get a nice little scrape going. Alright, so let's take a look. clean it up a bit. Again, I probably recommend using an electrical cleaner, but that's much better. You can see how much of it we got off now. I would say that's ready to go. You could probably, like I said, you could probably get away with letting this stuff sit on there a little bit longer. I was just kind of experimenting here with, seeing just how much of it I can get off, but I got to the point to where, I started kind of getting through some of that tinning on these contacts, and I didn't want to go too deep on it. So I felt comfortable with what I got off, and having installed it, I've driven the truck around already, and it's been running fine, no issues. But yeah, you can see just how much better it's looking. And there we go. Another clean. And that's it. Simple as that. Very easy process. I think what took me the longest is the recording process. But you can see you've got a nice clean surface there. Didn't damage anything, didn't go too deep on anything. So we shouldn't have any issues. And now you're pretty much ready to go ahead and install your new tuner chip. Like I said, I'm not going to get into details just because there's a ton of videos. I'll post some extra videos for you guys, just so you can see how to install them if you need that. But here you go. You can see nice and clean. And then you can see where the chip's going to sit. So it doesn't go that far up, but like I said, you want to just make sure you clean as much of this stuff as you can. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. See ya.